Been a busy weekend on the streets of Ireland, both north and south. And earlier on I recorded an update or gave an overview of what was happening in Belfast yesterday. And in Dublin, there have also been people taking to the streets, primarily showing their solidarity with Palestine, and backed up by Simon Harris in the Dáil, boasting of the five major things that the Irish government are doing to support Palestine and the people of Palestine. So I want to look at what's been happening, some of the action on the streets and what he's actually said, and give me your thoughts, comments and opinions below in the comments section. Is he right? Should we be doing this, or is he completely off his rocker? So let's see what's happening on the streets first. Viva, viva Palestina. A lot of Palestine flags there in Dublin. Very mixed bag of supporters there. Looks like there's old, young, foreign and national alike.
Not a war. Say it louder, say it more. Not a conflict, not a war. Say it louder, say it more. Not a conflict, not a war. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine.
What a song, eh? So people chanting and shuffling along the streets there don't look particularly enthusiastic or very happy about it, but they're out nonetheless. And this is coming off of the back of a statement that Simon Harris made in the Dáil, where he's talking about what Ireland is doing for Palestine. He wants to underscore this, and notice he gets very enthused, or not even enthused, very passionate about what he's saying. I've never ever heard him passionate about what he's doing for Dublin, for example, or the west of Ireland, or Cork, or anywhere else for that matter. But when it comes to foreign aid and virtue signalling towards opening the doors to people flooding into Ireland, he's extremely passionate about that, and you can tell he's got that scowled up face where he's trying to look serious and tough. So let's hear what Harris said also concerning aid that's going out of Ireland to other places.
I'm going to tell you 5 things we are doing. I'm going to tell you 5 things we are doing. I'm going to tell you 5 things we are doing. Firstly, we're actively involved in the ICJ case. We took that decision, and we took that decision as one of only a very small number of countries to actually intervene in a case in the International Court. Second thing we're doing is providing very significant humanitarian aid. My colleague, Minister Neil Richmond, who has responsibility for this, we have today trucks in Jordan with enough aid for 6,000 people in Gaza.
Notice when the storm happened, a month or 6 weeks ago, Storm Eowyn in the west of Ireland, there were Irish people having to take van loads of supplies to elderly people who had no food, no electricity, no running water for weeks at a time. There were no food trucks or aid vans traversing Ireland at the time. And in terms of aid, just pure aid, there are Irish schools on the verge of closure at the moment. One at least in particular said that if they don't get a certain amount of aid by April, it's going to be lights off. They're going to be back to working remotely, or kids are going to have to learn remotely because the school can't even keep the lights on. But Simon's enthusiastic here.
The third thing we're doing is supporting UNRWA. Again, talk to the Director General of UNRWA. Ask him how supportive this government has been. Not only have we provided €38 million at a time when others have walked off the pitch from UNRWA, we've provided €38 million on behalf of the people.
Look at this rat here. We've provided 38 million to UNRWA. Ask the Director of UNRWA. Just ask him. Ask the Director of UNRWA. Ask him.
To this country. And I've announced in my role as Taoiseach a further €20 million in support for UNRWA. The next thing we've done is worked with Arab countries. I've met the Minister in...
Work with Arab countries. That's right, Simon. Look over your own domestic issues. Just look right over your own domestic issues and turn your sight or turn your attention elsewhere.
Jordan, the Minister in Egypt, the Palestinian Prime Minister, all in recent weeks in Munich and in Johannesburg. I've met these people. And we're supporting the Arab plan for reconstruction, saying to people, including the United States, we see your plan in relation.
He's supporting the Arab plan for reconstruction, rebuilding Gaza. So he's fully behind that. And he spoke to people from Egypt, he spoke to people from Gaza, he spoke to people from all over the Arab states about this. And Ireland has a housing crisis. And they lied about their figures. And Irish people are homeless at the minute. But his focus is on rebuilding Gaza. He has to work in conjunction with foreign leaders to rebuild Gaza, while people in his own country are sitting homeless, sofa surfing, living in cars, living in tents, or living on the streets.
The displacement of people from Palestine is utterly unacceptable and in breach of international law. We want an alternative plan for Gaza that sees no role for Hamas, I'm sure you'd agree with that, no role for Hamas, a brutal illegal terrorist organisation, but does see the reconstruction of Gaza and a new governance and security arrangement. And the fifth practical thing we're doing is we're engaging in relation to advancing the commitment in the programme for government in terms of legislating in relation to the occupied territories. 5 practical measures that doesn't include the recognition of the State of Palestine that we are taking to help people. Not sweet words, real action. But you know what? Diplomacy is tough. It takes real action.
Not sweet words, real action.
I'm going to tell you 5 things we are doing.
Not sweet words, but real action.
And the fifth practical thing we're doing is we're engaging in relation to advancing the commitment in the programme for government in terms of legislating in relation to the occupied territories. 5 practical measures that doesn't include the recognition of the State of Palestine that we are taking to help people. Not sweet words, real action. But you know what? Diplomacy is tough. It takes real action.
Diplomacy's tough and it takes real action. So Simon is the real action tough guy that we need to step up to the plate for Ireland. Or is he? Or is he batting? Is he batting for another team? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Just following on from that video, I just want to pick a selection of comments that popped up. Again, none in support of Simon Harris, none whatsoever. So the question has to be asked when you put a comment like that or a video like that out on a social media site, and this was posted through the Fine Gael Twitter feed or X feed, this is the type of response that's coming in. Martin Murphy said, now do 5 things you're doing to address the following in Ireland. So he's pontificating about doing 5 things to address the problems in the Middle East. But what about the 5 problems in Ireland? And Martin lists housing crisis, number 1, hospital crisis, number 2, uncontrolled immigration crisis, number 3, violence and sex crime crisis, number 4, educational spaces crisis, number 5, and in fact he goes on and he adds a 6th one in there, mental health crisis, number 6, and there's more than that. It's not an exhaustive list. And then he goes on to say weak men create hard times. Sandra Maher said UNRWA. How about Irish housing, doctors, dentists, schools, infrastructure in Ireland before funding UNRWA? When Irish people are taken care of first, go ahead and share the wealth. Until then, look to Ireland first. Sandrita says, name one thing you're doing for the Irish people, i.e. the people that you're supposed to be representing. Phineas says we could focus on Ireland rather than diverse foreign issues. And lastly, Daniel Byrne says, and done absolutely nothing for the homeless Irish. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have destroyed this country with their woke left ideology. Our women and children are in danger every day now. No more evening or morning walks. You people are absolute traitors and cowards. Shame on you all. So that's a little flavour about the activity on the streets of Dublin, contrasting with what we saw in Belfast yesterday being Sunday. So thoughts and comments as always below. For now, I'm Rick Munn, No Risk No Reward Media, over and out.